Good morning, society. Wow, we nailed that one.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Look, it's Jake Michaels.
Hello.
Becca Scott is taking the day off today, and we hope everything is well. Everything is well. She's just not in the studio.
You made it sound much more dramatic than
Totally,
it is.
yeah.
Everything's fine.
Everything's
Becca's fine.
Becca's fine. Slimmers is asking which one is you, Becca, and which one is Bonds.
Ooh.
There's no replacement for either.
Oh man, those are both high energy for both of us. I think,
Definitely. We're way more chill.
I think I'm a little more Becca than you are.
Yeah, I think so.
Gosh, Bonds is like hard to control, and you're pretty easy to tame.
I'm chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is no.
Can anyone be a Bonds?
I
can bring the Bonds from the booth if you want.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Into the microphone.
It's a good bucket hat. We should make that. Good morning, Dwary. Are you excited at least to see me, Dwary?
I hope so. I'm excited to see you, Jake.
I never see the chat. Was like, well, maybe Jake could be here.
Yeah.
No one ever prophesies it, you know? No one ever takes a Bene Gesserit turn and is like, maybe it's Jake this time.
Yes. Oh, we're off to a great start today. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Good Morning Society episode. Ray, is this episode 39 now, or is it 38?
Lucky 39.
I think it's 39.
Wow.
Wow.
It's almost, we're getting some, those are high numbers, like considering we just started this back in February?
No.
March. It was around Gamma last
Oh my
this
God.
year.
It was immediately after Gamma.
It's been
Our
that
first
much?
episode was called
Wow.
Best Games from Gamma.
Best games from
Well,
Gamma.
let's cue up I Hope You've Had the Time of Your Life by Green Day, and let's look at some of the best clips for the next 45 minutes.
Yeah, looking back at the Good Morning Society history.
Man, I wish I had that ready. I wish I had built a surprise retrospective.
Oh, that would be great. Folks, we got another great show for you today. We've got our board games, we've got our beverages, and we've got Jake Michaels in the house for all the shenanigans.
Hello.
Yeah. Jake, we've got a couple of really great sponsors today.
We do?
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Yeah. We've got our shelf sponsor, Mantic Games, on behalf of Team 17.
You're trying to get away from
like-
it. Just lean to your left.
I like
That's
that
all
you
gotta do.
leaned right in front of it.
I know.
You lean the
It's like,
opposite,
what
which
are
is
they?
blocking it. Yeah. It's
I love
Worms.
how, we were totally in sync right there. That was great. Worms, the board game, Jake, is based on the video game of the same name, which I unfortunately did not experience back in the day, but you
Did
have.
you just miss it? Was it like one of those things that you just were unaware of? Or had you heard of it and just never played?
I heard of it, never played.
Yeah. It's a great little, it was a PC game when I played it.
Right.
And you just have, it's a 2D game, but it really uses a lot of, I guess, trajectories.
Yep. Yeah.
Because you're launching rockets at other worms. It's a worm tactical battler.
Yeah.
And your projectiles have different weights and velocities. And I think there's wind in it too. I know there's wind in this game.
Yeah.
So it's all about like aiming, which was a thing back when I was a kid in the early 90s.
Yeah. See,
we had a lot of games of aiming with accuracy. Like, do you remember the little paper football things?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I remember that. Did you play that? Really? What was that? Was it literally just called paper football on a table?
I don't think it was called
name?
paper football on a table. There was a name for it. I bet you someone in chat knows the name of what it's called.
Do you know what that is?
It had a name?
Flickball or something
Flickball,
like that.
maybe?
We had like rules. We played full games. It wasn't just like kick it through the uprights.
What do you mean a
uprights.
full game? Like an hour-long exhibition or what?
All lunch. You started with it off the edge of the table.
Edge of the table, right? And flick
And
it.
that was you had to flip it up off the edge of the table. That was the kickoff.
Yes,
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then you're trying to flick it and get it to land
Paper football.
off the edge of the table. That's a touchdown. And then you kick the extra point.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah,
and then you do this, which is always the funnest part. Worms, I feel like it was the precursor to like Angry Birds. Is that a?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of Angry Birds.
Sort of like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What is
was,
it called? The trajectory. That's the official hand gesture.
trajectory.
Yeah, trajectory.
Yeah. I would say it was like a proto Angry Birds. That's a really good word for it.
Nice. I stole that line from Becca. She had talked about it before because she also has experience.
Well, then
with
I
this.
remove the credit I gave
Yes,
you.
I'll still take the credit. But yeah, Mantic and Team 17 have put together Worms as I lean this way.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all see it on the shelf.
A lot of cool cards, a lot of sweet little minis of different worms that I think you can paint.
Yes.
Probably should, because be able to differentiate. But there's a lot of like all the fun weapons like bazookas and rocket launchers and catapults are in there as well.
Right.
Super
Awesome.
fun.
Yeah, so shout out to Team 17 and Mantic for sponsoring our shelf today. Also, we have the WSBG sponsoring this episode. Yeah. We'll be bringing them up just a little bit later in the show. And of course, as always, we got to thank you all. Patreon support, we truly appreciate it. You help us put together all the fun stuff here on Good Time Society, including Good Morning Society. Yeah, thanks, Jake. Other things we got happening, we're going to be talking about what's new on the channel. We've got our grab bag of games. We have our
Nailed it.
society sidebar. Do we have hand gestures for a society sidebar?
I didn't know
Not
we were
yet.
gestures at all, but I loved grab bag of games.
Yeah, grab bag of
That
games.
was very much a Thriller dance right there. So
Oh, yeah.
okay, there it is.
And then Society Sidebar, we have an interview with another champ from the WSBG, Raul Cadena. He is the Ticket to Ride champion, and I got to talk to him for a little bit. You're going to see that later in the show. And finally, we have our jacked up match up.
I was okay. If it's a punching thing, I'm down.
Yeah,
we can punch.
Yeah, we can totally punch.
Yeah,
so jacked up matchup. We are playing My Shelfie today, Jake, which we played it a few months ago, and it was your first time, and we really enjoyed it.
I had such a good game, and I think you beat me by like 3 points.
It was super close. So perhaps Jake will get his revenge today, friends.
I'm gonna get revenge in some method.
Exactly. That one, that's by one of my favorite designers of all time. It's Matthew Dunstan and Phil Walker Harding.
Oh yeah.
Praise be.
Yeah, you're a Harding guy.
Yeah, I am a Harding guy.
Harding disciple.
Yeah. So again, stick around, folks. We got plenty to get to. And why don't we kick things off with what's new on the Good Time Society channel, starting with an actual play, Arkham Horror RPG, Jake. Yeah, this looks fantastic.
Looks a little dark on this screen right now. Just turn up your brightness. What's going on?
I don't know what's going on with this. Why is it so
dim? I promise the coloring is much better on YouTube, folks. But,
it's dark on my laptop for some reason.
I think your laptop just is.
Yeah, maybe it's this.
Regardless, we did a 4-player, 1 GM, of course, playthrough of the Arkham Horror RPG released by Edge Studio. It's a little bit of a different spin on the Lovecraftian RPG genre. You guys are all familiar with, of course, Call of Cthulhu from Chaosium. This one's a little bit more pulpy in its writing, a little bit more action-driven.
Nice.
A little bit more exploratory in that kind of theme. And it's a whole new game system as well, with its own skills and kind of sanity options, and a really like, I would say, concise method of getting into the game. It's a nice it's a nice introduction into role playing, especially into the theme.
Awesome. Yeah, I got to take a look at a copy of the starter set and the core rulebook. I mean, the art in there is beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous.
The art is so nice.
Yeah. So that's on the channel right now, folks. You can see the playthrough there. Another thing that we have on the channel is, what is this? Oh, Flesh and Blood.
Oh, man. Flesh and Blood.
I'm excited to try this game, Jake. I think Matt was talking about how much he really enjoyed this one. And maybe it was Ray, too. I don't know if y'all were playing this recently. Yeah.
We've all become Flesh and Blood fans here.
That's awesome. And in this video, Becca is playing the Rosetta Blitz decks. I don't know what that is exactly. I'm assuming it's some of the different factions that can be played?
Yeah, well, the Blitz is one of the modes of Flesh and Blood. Actually, Ray, how much can you speak to this?
So the Blitz, it's cool. For the Blitz mode, they basically have, instead of your normal champion, you play your champion at a younger stage in their life, which is kind of cool, and it's a quicker game. So it's like I believe you have like less life. It's sort of like a quick play mode.
Yeah.
But I think it's really cool that then all your heroes are younger, which is a very cute way to do it.
Oh, that's cool.
Love that. We just got a big old raid from Bonzinator, friend of the show, co-host of the show.
Yes, hi Bonz.
Wild card of the show.
Definitely the wild card.
We're here to Torquay. Wow. Wonderful job, team. Well
nice.
Rated.
I hope we're getting a physical raid from Bonzinator. Get in the car now.
Yeah.
We'll see you here to do your hosting duties.
So yes, hello, welcome on in, Raiders. Hi, Panda Angel. Hello, Castrol and friends. Thank you so much for joining us. Jake's in the house today.
Hello.
And we've got a full house here. We got plenty of stuff going on.
There's a ton of people in this house.
Yeah, I walked in. I was like, oh my gosh, it was like Grand Central Station.
Yeah,
it was great.
Times.
I love it. It is good times here at the Good Time Society studio.
Check out both those videos. We also will probably have another video going up, maybe even today. There's been enough posts Post-production shenanigans going on this week.
Nice. Yeah. It's time for, there's a segue. It's time to reach into the...
Wait, Jake, are you ready? Jake,
are you ready?
We've rehearsed this now.
Here
we go.
Going to go into our grab bag of games.
It's like an improv exercise.
And our teacher let us pass.
Yes, I hope we got passing scores. The first game on the list we're going to talk about is First Monday in October. Now, this was the recent, hullabaloo, is that the word?
There was a hullabaloo.
There was a hullabaloo.
There was a hullabaloo.
On Facebook. Apparently, the company Fort Circle Games put out an ad for this game. It's a politically historical game. And Facebook flagged it for whatever reason and took down the ads.
Well, let's be clear.
Right?
So what is this game? Let's give them context.
The context game, this is a simulation of the 200 years that the Supreme Court has existed in the U.S. And you play through throughout the history, hopefully making decisions to sway one side to another. And, you see how the Supreme Court happens.
It's like determining, determining routes in different game states, right?
Right.
Vary it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So somehow Facebook thought this was a politically charged ad and they took it down.
Oh,
and
interesting.
Yeah, so right at the start of the campaign, too. It's on Kickstarter right now. They have like about a day or two left, folks.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so they had to, the ad had never ran on Facebook. I guess they got refunded. So they had to go to social media and say, help. Nobody knows about our game, but thankfully they funded.
Okay.
They're at almost $200,000, which is great.
We should get our hands on a copy and check it out in person then. I am always a fan of a game that informs about civics because everybody's ignorant about it, as I'm sure Becca talks about all the time. Especially the Supreme Court, and it's a complex, like our judicial system is very complex.
Exactly.
And the way it works and the way it's interpreted. And it's up to the whims of those interpreting.
Yeah,
those 9 folks.
Exactly. I mean, determines the path of our country.
Yes.
And what's great is Fort Circle Games. They've released a couple other games that I've really enjoyed. One of them is called Votes for Women, and that basically, that game was a simulation of the fight for women to get the right to vote, and it was a really well done game. I mean, I never thought I would be playing a game about the what is the word for getting the right to vote? Suffrage. Thank you. That was an area control game. It was awesome. It was an area control game, and Fort Circle Games did such a great job with that one. And I'm assuming they're going to do another fantastic job with the First Monday in October. Yeah. So check that out.
Check that out when it comes out. The cards looked amazing too.
Yeah. Artwork and everything. It looks great.
I'll take a Sandra Day O'Connor card.
Sandra O'Connor. That's pretty much all I could name off the Supreme. Well, I mean, there's others, but I don't want to name them.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's some dangerous cards in that deck.
Yeah, I definitely
to enter my house.
Right?
Things might happen to some of those cards. That were
Is this a legacy game?
We don't want to name names about Supreme Court justices that we might want to tear in half, but
it's going to be one of those shows, folks.
Anyway,
why don't we move on from the
print
Supreme
out
Court
pictures of Supreme Court justices if you want to rip them in half.
Oh, there you go.
If you need that therapy, we can do it.
Yeah,
that's a great point.
Yeah,
there is a printer here in the studio. We could absolutely do that. I don't have another segue to move on.
Perfect. There we go.
Yeah.
What does it mean with segues? You got it.
I just like to call it out. I have no idea what we're going to do. Yeah. Everdell Duo. This is the 2-player version of the very popular Everdell worker placement game. I know Becca's a huge fan of Everdell. Are you a huge fan of this one?
I am I actually haven't played enough to be a huge fan, but every game of Everdell I've played, I've enjoyed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've played Far Away. I played the base game. I played one of the other ones, like Far Shore. What's it called? Far Shore or something like that?
Yeah.
Far Shore.
Yeah, thank you. There's a bunch of little versions, but I know there's a trend nowadays with a lot of dual versions coming out of popular games.
Right.
And this is another one.
And I like that because you can take that experience of a multiplayer game and change it just enough where it works as a 2-player as well, because not all games translate well into 2 players, right?
Well, actually, I was going to ask because I thought every time I've played Everdell, I think of the 3 or 4 games I've played, most of them were 2-player. I think I only played one 4-player game.
Oh, okay.
And it worked great as 2-player, as I recall.
Oh, okay.
Well, but that said, there's plenty of games that made dual versions that also worked fine in their own capacity. Like Splendor is a good example.
Yes.
Base Splendor is fine as 2-player, but Splendor Dual rocks as 2-player.
Oh, yeah.
And so is that kind of the same thing here of what they've done?
Yeah, that's exactly it. So they've taken the base gameplay and then added things. From what I understand, it's going to be they have like a bigger deck of events that are going to come out and trigger game changes within the game itself. So yeah, and there is also, I want to make sure I get this right. Is there a campaign in this? There is a 2-player campaign mode that you can do as well. So you can play it as it is, or you can jump into.
By campaign, you mean still competitive?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. And just to verify that,
Shazira on the YouTube chat says, I backed this and they sent it out, not in a box, but a bag.
In a bag?
And it's so baffling.
Really?
Oh, was that votes for women? I thought that was Everdell Duo. I was like,
That's what I thought too.
That can't be right.
But as you can see, it's still got the lovely Andrew Bosley art, some really cool bits and pieces.
It's a cozy game for sure.
Yeah, absolutely cozy. This is probably one of the earlier examples of a cozy game, now that I think about it, right? Because I think cozy is having its moment.
You think cozy is a vibe for 2025?
It is.
Cozy nature animal games.
Yeah,
just
right?
Popping off right now.
Wingspan to Everdell to whatever else.
Yeah,
we've
I
got.
feel like board games in themselves are just kind of cozy things to do, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Like when you live, we live in Southern California where it's sunny and we should be outside more often, but like you forget that a lot of our friends live up in the rainy Northwest or the very cold Midwest in the winter, and it's darker. So everything needs to be cozy.
Yeah, especially, I mean, it's what's cozy are basements. They have basements in the Midwest.
We don't really have many basements.
We don't have basements in California.
It's so weird to not have basements.
How'd you like that one, Ray?
I'm from a basement place.
Having been from an area that has basements, typically I'd say the basement is the least cozy room in the house. I mean, if you go to the trouble of furnishing it, then it could get a little cozy. But I would say traditionally,
if you have some wood paneling down there, maybe a little bit. A pool table.
Yeah, you're obviously talking to a native Californian. I have no idea what I'm talking about in basements. Although the last basement I was in during Gen Con, I stayed with some friends, and their basement was amazing.
Dude, I grew up in the basement. No, that sounds like my parents put me in the basement. Let me clarify.
I'm sorry, man.
We had a second level that had a carpeted basement, and we had our guest rooms down there. And when I was ready to move into my own room, and my brother and I stopped sharing, I went down there, and it was my own floor.
You almost had like your own apartment then.
Kind of.
That's pretty cool.
And I was 8 years old, so
wow.
That's why I'm so independent today.
Yeah.
Thank you, Basements. Sponsor of the show, Basements.
My first game table was my dad's pool table in the basement.
No way.
Oh yeah, you go down
me too.
because I actually grew up in a pretty large house, fortunately, and my parents would go to bed. And when I was a teenager, it was like go down to the basement. They won't hear you. They won't yell at you. You can keep your friends over till like 2 a.m. playing Fireball Island on your dad's pool table.
Fireball. Was that the original Fireball Island?
Oh yeah, 1986, baby.
Lucky.
Interesting.
So, yeah, Basements, Everdell Duo, folks. Check it out. That'll be out next year. I believe they're going to Kickstarter, but don't quote me on that because they didn't have that information on when I checked it out. And, segue number 3 is going to be about going to another city that might be your rival, like a city that has basements versus a city that doesn't have basements, and that is called Rival Cities.
Rival Cities.
From Vegas to Spiel. I had no idea where I was going with that.
You could have gone with attics.
Boy.
Attics? City that has attics?
It's not that you're bad at segues, it's that you almost don't do them. You just say a string of words and then you fall into the next
sort of,
thing.
yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Ruel's incredible at segues. It's just that he gets fueled by 1 or 2 really good ones, and then it's like it's going to be every time.
Yeah.
That's a big.
I just kind of think that every time he walks in the door, the door comes off the hinges with him. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. Yeah, because isn't the secret to comedy just repeating stuff? When you find something works, you just beat it to death, right? Either that or say it louder. Isn't that funnier when it's louder?
Next year, I think we should do an 8-part series where we just do different segments of like clips from Ruel's comedy class that he's going to be taking.
Volume 1 coming out next year, folks.
Rival Cities.
Yes. This one, I had to flag this one because I saw the designer. I'm really excited about this. It's Andreas Steding. He just done a game that's really highly regarded called Hansa Teutonica. And also, I have not played that one, but I have played Gugong, and Gugong was incredible.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And the artist, Annika Heller, as well. I really liked the art that she did for Juicy Fruits and Savannah Park. Now, Andreas Sterling, known for these, heavier, crunchier Euros, he's taken that design philosophy and distilled it down to a 2-player 30-minute game. Ooh. So, anytime a big, designer like that does heavier, bigger games, and then they, jump into this space, I'm always interested to see what they come up with. This is a 2-player game using a rondelle. So you're going around in a circular motion and taking actions. And in this one, it's based in the 16th century, a small fishing village. And basically, it got too big for its britches and it started a fight with another country or city. And that's what this game's about.
It's about a fishing village that got too big for its britches?
Yeah, I guess they started doing really well. It was not posing a threat to Hamburg. But then as it grew, I guess there was a fierce rivalry that emerged between the two cities as they tried to outdo each other. Perhaps Hamburg already had basements, and then...
Okay, there we go.
Right?
There, that's called a callback.
Thank you.
You learned about that on day 7 in the comedy class. That's good.
Thank you.
Actually, they mentioned in day 1, but then they mentioned again in day 7.
Oh, that's what it is.
Oh! He's a professional, folks.
Yeah.
Well, Hansa Teutonica is great. I haven't played it in years.
Okay.
What can we see the rondelle? Is there any pictures of it?
No,
or is it all just box art? Damn.
Just box art only because it is...
sound interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't look great. It is going to be out Q1 of 2025 is what they say.
Okay.
So, Rival Cities.
You reach out to Pegaspiel and see it.
Yeah, I would love that. You know what I love? I love games that have area control in them.
There you go.
Right.
Me too. You and I just showed Ray and Matt Samurai recently.
So good.
So good.
That game by the one and only Dr. Reiner Knizia is so... That's the first game I ever played by Knizia, and it's still my favorite. I love that game.
It might be... Lost Cities is just so good.
Yeah.
I also showed my parents the Quest for El Dorado.
Oh, how'd they like it?
It worked.
Nice.
They liked it. Yeah, your copy, I believe, that I borrowed.
I love it.
By the way.
Yeah.
It was like their first deck builder. So it was, in fact, when I pulled it out, my mom goes, "Hey, Jake." I go, "Yeah." She goes, "This looks a little complex." I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
Oh, okay.
I teach people this for a living, right? Like, I wouldn't put something in front of you I didn't think you could handle.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. And she could handle it.
Nice.
She tied for Katie for first, and Katie had the tiebreaker and won.
Oh, wow. They both beat me. Is
the tiebreaker is who gets the most barriers. Yeah.
Nice. Wow.
Quest for El Dorado is so great. Highly recommend.
You're a great teacher then if you got your mom to play a complex game like that.
I will take that.
Yeah.
I will take the credit for her win.
Absolutely. Yeah, so that is, what are we talking about? Quest for El Dorado.
We went down a long road,
Yeah, so that, moving right along to
area
Ethnos.
Control. Yeah.
Control.
Well, the reason what you were talking about was area control.
Yeah.
And area control includes Ethnos. Now, we've already are auto-playing a video because the reason I wanted to bring this up because Ethnos 2nd edition is coming out.
Correct.
And I just remembered when you mentioned it, we did a video for Ethnos 1st edition when we were a baby channel. Look at this. This is shot in Becca's living room in 2020.
It looks so great too.
When we were still on lockdown, I think. Well, maybe not lockdown, but we were all wearing masks in between these.
Yeah.
I'm just out of frame here wearing masks.
Oh, okay. Hey, Ethnos is a wonderful area control game. I've always described it as Ticket to Ride meets Blood Rage. So you are invading this country, but the mechanism is literally drawing cards and then playing sets of them, just like Ticket to Ride. But instead of building a network of trains, you are building your fleet of armies to defeat your enemies.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah. So now Ethnos, the 1st edition, people sort of grumbled about, I guess the artwork was sort of, they say it's generic. I thought it was fine. And the gameplay.
I think fine is the right word.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
But they re-released it as a game called Archaeos Society. which
really?
Yeah, about 2 years ago, and they replaced the area control with tracks, so you bump up tracks for each thing. Yeah, that was my reaction exactly.
Did your lip do that?
Pretty much,
It's stuck like this now.
It was fine, but now the second edition, we got new artwork and the same great gameplay, but it also has rules for a 2-player game that slightly tweaks it, and also, believe it or not, a solo version as well, Jake.
A solo area control version.
I have no idea how that's going to work, but I'm curious, and that's why I want to check out Ethnos second edition.
Yeah, that's really good. Do you have a picture of the new art?
No. Yeah, it'll be out in. Oh, it's supposed to release in 2025, so at some point. So.
Yeah, a really good area of control, like introduction to area of control as well. Like
Yes.
it's, as a genre, and I don't. Does it play at 2-player? Did the first edition play at 2-player?
It does, and basically you just close out some of the map. The map just shrinks a little bit for the 2-player. Much like a Samurai and Kinesia, where you have 2 players or 3 players, you just take apart some of the map.
That was surprising how well it worked at different player counts.
Yeah, because you guys played it at, was it 3 or 4?
Yes, 3.
3, yeah, and we played it 2 players.
which was just remarkable.
Yeah, such a great game. We got one more game to talk about, Jake. Why don't we go to Kanawha County? Is that how you say it?
Kanawha? I think it was Kanawha, yes.
Kanawha.
Yeah.
Kanawha County, which I'd never heard about until I stumbled across this on the internet. Hellraisers in Kanawha
A
County.
game of profiteering and resistance.
Yeah.
For 1 to 3 players. A player count you don't see very often.
Yeah, and that is this is from Whirligig Games. If you don't know, folks, that is the publishing arm of Cole Whirly and his brother Drew Whirly. They are the geniuses, of course, behind Root, Arcs, and many other great
Cole
games that we love.
designed a lot of stuff for Leader Games. He's a lead designer there.
Right. And this one is actually going to be out in 2026. So we're looking at a year lead time here, folks. It's still in development, but this one, as Jake mentioned, a 1 to 3 player game, sort of like, I guess, PAX Premier.
I was literally just talking to Ray yesterday about PAX games. How would you define a PAX game?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Thank you.
It is, well, PAX Premier, when I played, I mean, it was fantastic, but I didn't totally wrap my head around it. It was
also a Cole Whirly game.
Yes.
Yeah.
A tableau building multi-use card game with, I don't know, the area control in that one is different though, because you don't actually have like a faction.
Yes.
Right? It's factionless.
I think the way it would be described, and chat, please chime in on this, but I think it's more like that you don't control the pieces on the board, or like they aren't your pieces.
Right.
Everybody can manipulate the pieces on the board, but your manipulation of them kind of affects, your benefits and maybe the tableau that you've built, right?
Yes.
So it's like you guys are all kind of pushing and pulling at different mechanisms that you all have access to.
Yeah.
As opposed to like area control of like your own units and stuff like that.
That's a great way to put it, like that push and pull, because literally one turn or one round you could be aligned with one faction, and then the very next round
it's more beneficial for you to be somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's like the politicking of that as well, which is where the politics come into play. So this game, there are 3 players. It's kind of a coin game, which is like a counterinsurgency. So there's like an uneven amount of power and there's asymmetry.
Right.
But there's two players who are the different mining companies in, I believe this is West Virginia, is that right?
Correct.
And what are the name of the companies?
The companies are named. I had it right
bet you
here.
they're the real company names
The
too.
Cabin Creek Consolidated Coal Company and the Paint Creek Collieries Company.
Yeah, the Paint Creek Collieries Company.
And then the third player, because it's a 3-player game, they take on the role of the uprising labor movement.
That's right.
Yes.
So the mining companies are trying to be the most shrewd kind of business minded people and take the largest market share of mining in the game. Whereas the third person, and they're fighting that level amongst themselves, whereas the third person is fighting for labor and is actually trying to make both of their lives, they're trying to make their people's lives they're better, but that makes their business harder to take advantage of.
Exactly.
So it also has a historical context
Yes.
in obviously literal ways, but also in teaching ways, like how these struggles occurred and all the things that swayed different parties.
Yeah. Sort of like what we were just talking about with Fort Circle Games and the first Monday in October, how taking this historical events and distilling it down to a game. This one it says 60 to 90 minutes, so it's I don't know. I mean, I know there's some games that
Sure.
yeah,
When you played a few of them, I'm sure, and maybe it does, but like these games are always because of the talking. I would hope too.
Right.
There's a lot of negotiating.
Right.
This just in says I'm ready. I'm ready. Interested. I think really interested in trying John Company at some point. Like John Company's the same thing.
I'm going to tell you. I'll be honest with you, Jake, and everyone in chat.
you.
I am afraid of John Company. I'm intimidated. That the rule book alone. I'm like I have not read novels that long these days.
I played it. I played it
Experience?
once.
Okay.
Yeah, I got clobbered.
Okay.
But I played it with two other people. I played it with Sam DeRoast, friend of the show, who might even be in chat somewhere in here, and our friend Cardner. Both of them were experienced in the game, and it was totally okay that they beat me because they taught me the game and like it's going to be. You know, you're gonna kind of figure out the flow of the game.
Yeah.
And I kind of didn't because it is such a difficult game to grok because like we said, it's a PAX game, so you don't control the pieces on the board. You just kind of hope for certain outcomes depending on like when we're dumping stock and when we want the company to be profitable and not.
Right.
I will say find somebody who likes the game already and let them teach you.
Yeah.
Instead of you being the person who knows it, because I think you'll be too confounded.
It seems like it.
It was a lot.
Yeah, like I think Shay Parker had released a how to play video, and it's at least an hour long. We're like, oh man. You know what we need? We need someone like Casey, Brain in the Jar, to teach us.
Yes.
Right?
Oh man,
she
she's
taught
so
us.
good.
Oh, what was the game? Vinos.
Oh yeah.
Best teach ever. Casey, if you're watching or if you watch the VOD, shout out to you.
Well, Vitel Lacerda games are so hard to teach already.
Yeah.
And we like walked through it with her, and she was the best
She was
guide.
perfect.
Yes.
Yeah. Anytime we had a question, she knew where to find them in the rule book, and we had such a great experience with that. But hey, that's it for the Grab Bag Games, Jake.
Yeah.
So we can put back the grab. I don't know if we have it.
Okay, now you're just making up things
making
to
up
Thank you.
trip
Okay, I
Jake
want to be
up.
validated.
Yeah.
I won't co-sign this.
Thank you, Ray. Yeah. You know what we've got up next, folks, is a society sidebar featuring our talk with Raul Cadena, the 2024 WSBG Ticket to Ride champion. So take a look at that, and then we'll come back and do a jacked up matchup with Jake Michaels, folks. So take it away, past Ruel and Raul. And hi, everybody. Welcome to the Society Sidebar. I've got a very special guest today. You've seen our previous interviews with champs. We've got another champ coming in from the WSBG. Folks, let's give a big Good Morning Society welcome to Raul Cadena, the Ticket to Ride champion from the 2024 WSBG. Raul, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you, Roel. Hi, everybody from Good Morning Society. It's my pleasure to be here with you.
Yes. And so how does it feel, Raul, to be the champion of a game that so many of us have grown and played and grown to love over the years? I mean, it's got to be a pretty special moment for you these days, being the champion.
Yes, it was, bro. It was an amazing thrill. It was my first time at WSBG, and it was the first day that I was there. I came from Brazil. I flew all the way to Vegas. And I mean, the environment was great. I didn't expect that win to come in the first day. So, I mean, I was very, very excited when I saw that things were going right on the right way for me.
Nice. So what made you decide to play Ticket to Ride? Because there's so many games that you could play at the WSBG. Did you play a bunch of them, or were you just focused on Ticket to Ride?
No, I played on each day, one game each day, Terraforming Mars, Brass, Dune, and Ticket to Ride in the first day. And then I chose Ticket to Ride because, I mean, I was familiar with the game. It is a game that, I mean, it has a little bit of luck, but also strategy. So, I mean, in the mixture of those two things, I thought that I might have the chance to win Ticket to Ride because of that, and it was amazing.
Yeah. So as you're playing Ticket to Ride, was there a moment during the tournament where you felt like, oh, I've got this in the bag. I'm going to win this. I don't care how much luck there is. I'm going to win this. Or was it like every game was at a nervous anticipation or nervous tension where you didn't know you were going to win?
Every game a nervous breakdown. I mean, I played a lot with my friends, right, in a friendly environment.
Mm-hmm.
Competition, it was the first time. I mean, and it is amazing how your mind and your body behaves in that, I mean, friendly, competitive environment. So, I mean, I was very focused on every game. And as I progressed on the rounds, I became increasingly focused. And I think that played a lot in my way to the winning, because, I mean, if you get your mind focused on the game, you kind of sense everything, what's going on, when the game is going to end. So I mean, it was an amazing experience. I never had that experience in my life in playing board games. So
Oh, so have you not played in any type of tournaments before? You came to Vegas, or well, yeah, because I don't really play many
yes,
tournaments. So the only tournaments I've actually played in are at the WSBG. Is that similar to your experience?
similar, yeah. First time, and I mean, yes, last year I saw Chris doing the marketing for WSBG. I saw the website and then how they value the friendly environment and the competition together. So I really enjoyed the vibe,
Yeah,
and I decided to buy my ticket and go there and try it out. It was the best 5 days that I had
yeah.
in entertainment terms. Right, was amazing.
I love that you said that. I totally agree with you. Where you're right, the vibe, the atmosphere, it's competitive, but it's very friendly at the same time. Like people want to win, but it's not like it's not very. It doesn't feel like mean spirited, right? Everyone's still friendly while they're playing.
Yeah, very friendly. I
Uh,
remember when after we had the semifinal draws, so we I wasn't familiar with the game I was gonna play, which was Ra in the semifinal, and then I got help from everybody. I remember I got some help from JC who won.
oh,
He was teaching me some of the cards as well in case I had to play that. So I mean, everybody talking to everybody, and there's some amazing people there.
oh, that's great. That's so wonderful to hear. Now, as someone, I love Ticket to Ride. It's one of the first games that really got me into the hobby. My wife and I played a lot, and with my family as well. So for someone that's interested in going to the WSBG and playing a Ticket to Ride a tournament, is there any type of advice or tips and tricks to the game that you can share?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, Ticket to Ride is a very different game if you play in a two-player, or three-player, or four-player game. In the
Hmm.
WSPG, all of the rounds that we played was three-player game, and I mean, if you go for a four-player game, you usually you have more chance of scoring points in routes because of the double routes that are open.
Oh yeah.
The two-player game is more like a competitive game. Blocking strategy generally works in a two-player game,
Hmm.
and the three-player game is totally different. It can go either way, right? And at competition, it's very risky for you to buy new route objectives, the tracks there,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I mean, people really try to win the game as soon as they can. So I mean, playing competitively is different than playing friendly, Ticket to Ride, because I mean, people tend to accelerate things. So you've got to be really focused on what's happening and on the train counts of everybody, and
Oh
try not to extend the game so long. So
yeah.
it's really a tactical strategy game in a three-player game.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up as well. The three-player game, it is very different. Now, is that the three-player game? Is that used throughout the tournament, including the final table?
The final table was most of the tables that I saw, they had three people.
Okay,
Most of them in my 4 rounds, all of them three people, three
okay,
players.
yeah. So at three players, the blocking strategy. Talk a little bit about that. That's when someone puts their train on where they think your route is going to be. Correct?
Yes, it is risky because I mean, if you do block somebody, you're obviously trying to hurt the points that they,
Hmm.
they got. But the other player, I mean, he gets a free turn, right? Because I mean, you
Yeah.
spend a turn doing something that wasn't your objective primarily, right? So you really got to use that. I mean, very specifically. I did use it in the final. I had to block Gray because I mean, I saw he was winning. I
Hmm.
was in third. I mean, on my count, I was in third. So I mean, getting second doesn't get you nowhere. So
Right.
I got to block him, and then the other player, Evan, I found a way to end the game early and also won. So I mean, but I mean, you got to really think twice before blocking somebody in a three-player game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but sometimes it works.
okay, awesome. So, why don't we let's move on. Thank you again for sharing all about your WSBG experience, Raul. What about growing up? In your childhood, were you a board gamer as a child, and when did you become a modern board gamer, as they say?
So yeah, so I used to play a lot when I was a child, like 7, 8 years old, and the game that I most remember in Brazil it is called War, but it's pretty similar to in the US people call the Risk game.
Oh yeah.
So I used to play that a lot with my sisters, with my mom as well, and I love that game. I used to play by myself with all the six nations, the six
Oh
armies there.
really? Wow. So you would just solo Risk by yourself. That's amazing.
Well, yeah, and I like blue a lot. Somehow blue always won well. So I don't know. I don't know.
So I
And
know now when I play Risk, I want blue.
so that was it. And I mean, modern board games, I think was like something like 9 years ago. A friend of mine in Brazil called André, he called me for a group of board gamers that he used to play, and I went there for one time, and I just fell in love with all the games. I remember the first game that I played with him was Union Pacific, which is a train track, with
Okay.
pairs as well. But the game that I really really love is Terraforming Mars. I think this game is just fantastic.
Yes.
So
Yes. Now, were you able to play in Terraform Mars during the WSBG?
I lost in the first round.
Oh no.
Very very disappointed. I really wanted to play with Levi. I saw all Levi's games in twice here, right? So he's just an amazing guy. He won for 3 times, right? So I mean that is 12 winnings in a row, right? 4-4-4. So I mean, this guy is just amazing. I love the way he plays.
So do I. He is absolutely amazing. And folks, Raul's talking about Levi Moreno, the 3-time defending Terraforming Mars champion. So he has literally won 12 games in a row. I got to see him play. He got to the last year to the White Cathedral final table as well. He didn't win, but just to see him do all the different games, I mean, he's just an amazing player, as you said. Yeah. So besides Terraforming Mars, any current games that you're really into these days?
Yes, I'm playing more relaxing games these days. My kids they're on vacation, so we're playing family games. And the one which is really making the table right now is the one called the Quest of El Dorado, which is
Yes, the Reiner Knizia game. I love Knizia games. That's great. So you and your family are playing that right now, huh?
Yeah. A very fun game. I mean, very simple, but somehow you got the cards that you can buy and get a strategy. I mean, it's just a fun game, and like 40 minutes you play a game. It's really so. It's that one is the hot fever right now here at home.
That's great. That's awesome. Okay, Raul, that's going to do it for today. Again, thank you so much for taking the time out to hang out with us at Good Morning Society. Before we get going, do you have plans to come back next year to defend your title as the 2024 Ticket to Ride champion? Are you going to be back in the WSBG?
I do have plans. I intend to go and play 4 games. Ticket to Ride is not going to be there. It got replaced by the White Castle, I think.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah, but I'm practicing other games.
Awesome.
I'm probably gonna play Terraforming Mars, maybe Heat. Who knows? I'm getting ready.
All right, that's nice. So now you brought up a great point here that you are the all-time champion of Ticket to Ride, since it's no longer the WSBG. I think that's the way to go. You were going out on top, Raul. That's amazing.
Yeah, I think Ticket to Ride was in the first three WSBGs right editions, and then it's not going to be there anymore. So just 3 rings. Yeah.
Awesome. That's so amazing. Again, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it. Good luck. Have a wonderful rest of your year, and good luck next year as well.
Thank you very much, Ruel. It was a pleasure to be here, and everybody just enjoyed the show.
All right. Thank you. And folks, that's going to be it for today's Society Sidebar. Again, thank you to Raul for joining us today. And let's get back to the show. Thank you, Pastor Ruel and Raul. Appreciate that. Folks, I had such a great time talking to Raul. So much fun. And, those Ticket to Ride strats, going to have to use those during the holidays, folks.
What a crazy, so common game around, families just casually playing things, and then intense, hardcore competition on the other side of the country.
Jacob.
Gotta love it.
Oh, muted.
Did you mute your microphone?
Okay.
I did mute it.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So anyways, you were saying.
Did you hear anything? I just love that it was.
Yeah, you can still hear it.
Yeah, I thought so.
I just have a trained ear for it.
If you want to be a part of that competitive side of Ticket to Ride, the World Series of Board Gaming is happening in September of next year.
Yeah, we got to go this past September, had a great time, and be sure to check it out next year, folks. And Raul said he will be there as well to defend. Well, he's not going to defend his Ticket to Ride championship because they're replacing it with Heat. Pedal to the metal.
Right, they're replacing it.
Yeah, so as he joked there, he said that he was going to never play Ticket to Ride again, so he goes out on a winning note.
I will say, like, I definitely stopped playing the games for a few minutes. I haven't played Ark Nova since then. That's
Oh, yeah.
I needed a break from Ark Nova.
Yeah, you put in some long hours with Ark Nova.
It was a long haul.
Yep. So, again, thanks to the WSBG for sponsoring the segment and also to Raul for joining us. And now it is time to do our Jack Up Matchup. I totally jacked that up.
Now it's time to Jacked Up Matchup.
I was like, time for Jacked Up Matchup.
Title. That was
Isn't that
so
title
good.
great?
That was so good.
Yeah. Today, friends, on the table here, we've got My Shelfie.
Ooh.
I love this game.
Yeah.
Matthew Dunstan and Phil Walker Harding, praise be, are the designers of this wonderful game from Lucky Duck Games, who sent me a copy a couple of years ago. I love this. This is a tile laying game, but it's basically, how do we call it? Connect Four for gamers. Dropping pieces in.
It's even better though.
It's so much better. It's so much better than Connect Four. We got our shelves, and Jake and I are at the, I don't know, we're moving items into our shelves. We have books, games, plants, trophies, pictures, and all kinds of good stuff. And what you're doing is drawing from the board. You're going to take either 1, 2, or 3 tiles.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see about that one, Jake.
Oh,
That's my own little sub game right there. Is this Shelfie situation? Because it's pretty precarious, but you know what?
Yeah.
Unless there's another earthquake, which we had one yesterday, we'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Everything's fine, folks. Yeah, so in this episode of Jaked Up Matchup, we are playing My Shelfie, and what we're doing is filling up our shelves with all these items, Jake. Now,
Yeah, we have our own little calyxes here.
Yeah, calyx, yeah.
We're gonna have to do a quick re-aim here.
Okay, no problem.
There's your zone.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Move it a little bit, but
We
I
can
can't move it
rename.
up.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we have a number of things that we're going to be drafting from a pool of things here,
Yeah.
right? Or a number of items that we're going to be putting on our shelves.
Yeah.
And we additionally have a few goals in mind.
Correct. We have our secret goals here. So on the flip side of these cards that Jake and I are looking at, we have different goals as to where we want the items on our shelves. And then we have public goals as well. These two, they're a race basically. Whoever does it first will take the 8-pointer. The second player will take the 4-pointer. You can see that.
Man, can you guys see that? Oh.
This one here.
Yeah, so this is, okay, we'll talk about it when we
Yeah,
get
yeah,
to the game.
as we could.
We'll mess with it.
We'll mess
Okay,
with it.
cool.
Let me see what I can do.
Yeah,
we can also
and we can
spread
talk
out a
about the
little
goals as we play as well. On your turn, it's really straightforward. I love this about
Yeah.
the Walker Harding games. You just take 1, 2, or 3 tiles that are adjacent, and at the start of when you start to pick them, they must have at least one side open. So in this case, I could take these two because there's at least one side open. I could take these two as well. Okay, they're always in a straight line. I could not take, for instance, these 3 because although these 2 sides are open, this one is not.
The tile that you take must have at least one open side, and then of the ones that you take. And
Correct.
Then you can take 1 to 3 in one row or column, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And then when you do that, you must drop them into your shelf in only one column. Unlike Connect 4, where you can place multiples, you can only drop it in one column.
And you can do it in any order.
Correct.
Okay.
And what you're trying to do, Jake, is get similar items together or different items together, depending on the goals.
That's great.
And let's take a look at this here. This one here is basically 3 to 6 items that are similar. You're going to get these number of points at the end of the game.
When you say similar, do you mean in a row?
Yes, in a row.
In a connecting line that even doesn't have to be straight, right?
Orthogonally adjacent.
Orthogonally adjacent. Okay,
Yes.
yes.
Such a board gamer word, orthogonal.
I know, right?
Gotta love it.
Who else uses that word?
Right. Also, the public goals here, we have 2 of them. These are randomly chosen from a big old stack of them. This one here is you want 4 items, similar items next to each other, not necessarily in this shape, just as long as they're bunched together, 4 of them.
Now, this is vertical, whereas this is horizontal. Does that make a difference?
So in this one, it says that you can have it either horizontal, vertical, or whatever. Or you can even have like a box shape. But you need 4 little groups of 4 that are same. So maybe 4 games, 4 cats, 4 plants, whatever. Okay.
Doesn't have to be aligned. They just have to be together.
Together.
Okay.
Yep. Orthogonally adjacent. This one, however, must be in a row, and in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they must all be different items. So a cat, a trophy, etc. And you want 2 rows at somewhere on your board that meet that condition, and you'll get those points.
Okay.
And then we continue until one of us fills up our shelf. You will get the 1 point extra, and the other player will, well, we take equal number of turns. Okay. Jake has been randomly selected to go first, so he has the cozy little chair to sit in as we do this. And
I think it's calf time, baby.
oh, raise calf! Hashtag raise calves, folks.
We're going all out.
Woo!
If we're gonna do this, we're gonna get it so sharp.
Yeah. Sponsored by Levi Strauss Jeans. Levi Strauss, showing off those calves whenever you need them.
I
Yes.
actually can't tell if that's better, but I think it is.
Okay. Hashtag raise calves.
Nice. Can I have you double check the truth of this one?
Yes.
That we feel like the same symbol as this would be 4 in 1 group.
Yeah, so
right?
4 groups, each containing at least 4 tiles of the same type, not necessarily in the depicted shape. Each group can have the same or different tiles from other groups.
Oh, you just gotta have 4 groups of 4.
Yep,
4.
4 groups of
4
4.
groups of 4.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and so that's 3 ways you can score: public goals, private goals, or the I don't know, area adjacency.
Yeah.
Cool. That's it. We
what's
continue.
this?
This is whoever finishes first will get this as a 1 point bonus.
point.
We continue grabbing tiles from, I guess, is the living room floor, because that's where all your
The
items have
living
been
room
stored.
floor.
Yeah, we're gonna go until there are, I think, 1, 2, or 3 items left,
Okay.
and then we refill from the bag. Refilling, yeah. No, 4 or fewer. When there's 4 or fewer, we put them back in the bag, refill.
All right.
All right, Jake.
Should I go first?
Yes,
as
you have the
guest?
cozy chair to
I
go
have the
first.
cozy chair. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So I'll be pulling from this cat and this grouping of books
Okay.
right here, and I must put them all in the same row.
Correct.
Or
column.
Column was the word actually. Column.
Yes.
All right.
Well
I
done.
have done it.
All right, I am going to take from this side here and go over here.
Ooh.
1, 2.
One of the things my parents like to say is that I used to beat them all the time in Connect 4, and it was to their great shame when I was a kid. They're
Really?
Like, they don't understand why I was beating them. And they still admit that. And I'm like, when they admit it, I'm like, you guys don't have to admit that to people. You can just keep that secret.
And thus a gamer was born.
Yeah, really.
I love
that. All right. So I think we're going to go with, oh man, this is interesting. Doink, doink, doink.
Okay.
And they have to all be in the same
column. Yes. All right. So Jake and I have our secret goals. The more pieces that you have in these correct spots on your card, you'll get more points. I'm going to take these 3 because all sides are open. You can take 1, 2, or 3.
Now the taking of the 3 always feels great because you're filling up your space, but also you might not want to fill up too many because you're trying to do a bunch of goals.
Exactly.
But then ending the game quicker than your opponent. Like this gets cutthroat at 2-player.
It
because
totally
like
does.
you can rush a little bit and be like, well, if he doesn't have what he needs.
That's right.
Oof. Brutal.
Jake, I feel like your board game origin story is like the exact opposite of mine, where you were a prodigy from a young age, and I was like, I'll study and study and study, and one day maybe beat my dad.
Were you a late bloomer, Ray, or?
No,
No?
I feel like that was my motivation. It was like,
Okay.
you know, my dad would he would sandbag and then he'd win at the end.
Yeah.
Like his signature move.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just when you thought you had him.
Dad with a sandbag. Oh man, I think he took the one
I almost called it villain or origin story, but then I remembered, sorry, board gamer origin story.
Nice. Okay. All right, interesting. I'll go. 1, 2,
Jake, you are living up to the things that I say about you on the show. Namely that you put board games back with the lids on them crooked, in that you're putting the things on your shelf completely sideways.
I'm so absorbed in the colors right now that I have not been paying attention to that at all.
Do I get extra points for keeping mine nice and neat?
Oh, someone buried this. I live in a paradox house. That's okay.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It's just a way.
What did you do, Ruel?
Take those 3 right there.
No.
Yes, sir.
No. I don't like that choice at all.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go with these 2 right here. Ooh, okay, I'm
really?
gonna put it correctly in. Oh, to my great shame, what have I done? I'm so sorry.
So I'm gonna go here.
No.
Cat,
All three?
game,
All three.
and okay. So I can do. So I gotta do it on one thing. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Okay.
Oh.
That's what I wanted. That's what I
We're gonna put it down correctly.
Okay, I am gonna go with.
Wait, I'm not gonna get any of these bonuses.
No! Go
don't.
here. Don't!
Don't.
1, 2. So now there are 4 or fewer left on the living room floor, so we take these back into the bag.
Oh, they go back in?
Yeah, and shuffle and go.
Okay.
All right.
Take them back out and fix them. Gosh, guys,
Good luck with that.
I do. I do have an organizational thing, but it's not OCD level. It's like I can let it go.
It's okay. My fiance also does not have the terrible brain that I have, but it's great because I learned early on that we don't have to. It's not that we're in a fight. Because if I put the trash cans back in the same order every time, and then she puts them back in a different order, it's not that she secretly wants them in a different order and she's mad at me. It's just that she didn't think about it. It just was not conceivable to me for a long time.
Wow.
So I'm like watching you put those in sideways. I'm just like,
Yeah.
you just didn't even think about it.
She doesn't think to knock on them 15 times when she puts the can away.
Sliver's had a good video call. Thanks for joining us, friend. So we are going to round 2 now. As you can see, Jake is refilling the living room, nice and neat. We've got more items, and it'll be his turn when we go. Once again, we are trying to get our secret cards, our secret mission as far as where placement is for the different items. And we also have the public goals here. 4 groups of 4 similar items, and then 2 rows that are completely different from each other. As far as items in a row, which I am not doing a very good job of doing.
We didn't really tell people what the points were worth. So we also, on our secret cards, like we have 1 of each of the 6 colors in a certain spot here. And so if you get 1 of them in the whole game in the right spot, you get 1 point. If you get 5 of them, you get 9 points. If you get 6 of them, you get 16.
Correct.
Oh, is it what's the word for that where it goes up by an incremental amount?
Exponential?
Yeah. It's 1, 2, 4, 6, 9, 12. Oh, it's 12?
12?
I was wrong. It's not that.
It's not an exponential?
No, it's definitely not. Anyway, it's more.
Yes.
Anyway, let's see. It's my draft now?
It is.
Okay, and then this game ends as soon as one of us is filled, and then we have an equal amount of turns?
Correct.
And I went first.
Correct.
Ruel.
Yeah, I'm not
I
liking.
kind of made one, not terrible error, but I'm not proud.
Same.
Ooh, I'm doubly not proud. Oh, how do I fix this?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out.
Okay, maybe
how
I
to
can
get
fix
myself
it.
out of this.
I could fix it with patience. That's how I can fix it.
Oh,
I'm gonna pull
patience.
1.
1. Interesting, my
I
friend.
shouldn't just be announcing my whole plan here.
I'm gonna pull these 2 books. I need more books on my shelves. Okay. And I totally screwed that up. Wow, that is not what I was supposed to do.
That's great.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's fine.
congrats.
Thank you. I'm gonna pull these 2.
That was awful, Ruel. What are you? Okay. So if I do this, all right. Yeah, 1, 2. Yeah, I'll do these 3. So we're gonna place a book, then a game, and then a trophy. Wow, I can't believe I screwed that up.
Wow. Green.
Wow. These are interesting choices here because they sort of mess with you. Like almost not opposed to each other, but
Do a green and a blue.
Okay, so can I do this? 1, 2. Okay, there's that one.
Ooh, ooh.
You know what? I'm not even gonna mess with these anymore. I'm gonna go.
We're so in it. We're so like head down at this moment.
I'm sorry. That's normally when I'm supposed to come in with the golf commentary.
Yes.
But my strategy was to be buying Ticket to Ride Pennsylvania on Amazon.
Pennsylvania?
Yes.
As I guess chat doesn't know that we were talking about Ticket to Ride Pennsylvania during
That's right.
the society sidebar.
Yeah, what y'all missed, Ray and I had a quick conversation about Ticket to Ride, and my favorite Ticket to Ride, friends in chat, is Pennsylvania. Let us know what your favorite is. Pennsylvania adds one simple element which I love. It is stocks. So as you're laying down your track, just like in Ticket to Ride, you will also have the opportunity to buy stocks in the different companies, and those are worth extra points, and it's really, really well done.
That's fun.
Yeah, one little item, and it's the version that Michelle and I play the most at home. Highly recommend.
I was about to buy Ticket to Ride Legacy, but
Ooh, did you get it?
$120.
What?
That's a lot.
The heck, really?
It is probably the best bang for your buck, though, because if you think about it, there's probably 10 games. You're going to play it with 3 other people.
True.
You're going to play all 10 of those games, and that's like $12 a game.
True.
Oh,
So it's like $4
I think I'll just wait for my $100 board game stipend to hit. Thanks, Jake.
1, 2.
Ooh, up to 5 people, 12 games.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Now that's value, that's exponential.
Yeah.
That's not how exponential works.
We'll figure it out one of these times.
We're gonna go with
Go, Jake, go.
These.
Go, Jake, go.
2
Do.
cats.
Meow. Cats, really?
That's right, Ruel. It's cats.
Cats, really?
That's right, Ruel.
Oh my goodness
I
gracious.
could just take one, huh?
I can do this. I can do 1, 2, 3 because each side is
That
open.
is correct, Ruel.
So I'm gonna do that.
That's brutal, Ruel.
All right. So like to hear. I'm gonna place these on the left side here. We'll go this, and meow.
I'm gonna take this blue one by itself.
Okay. I'm going to. Okay, since I screwed that up, 1, 2. I can take the book.
Ooh, I'm gonna take both of these 2. That's possible, right? These 2
Correct.
blue
They're
ones?
both
Oh,
open. How many are left?
Things are coming together. Things are coming together.
1, 2. Oh my God, I could be able to do this. Where are the plants at? Where are my plants?
Yeah, TI as far as like the hours. That's a good point.
Okay, I took the 1.
The pure hours versus the money you spent. Is that 4 left? Therefore, we reset.
We reset, yes.
Now you said it's round 2 or / round 3, but these aren't. Is it rounds or we're just
No,
resetting?
we're just resetting,
You're
yeah.
just making a thing of it.
I'm
You're
totally
just being a
making a
great
thing of it.
host and good producer.
Thank you. So this will be the last round. It's Jake's draft first. How close are you to finishing?
I am so frighteningly close. Like you should be
I am
probably wetting your
shaking in my
pants.
boots. Yeah, actually, can I have a moment, please?
Yeah, you can go change your pants if you need to.
Yeah, this episode is sponsored by Depends.
Depends.
1, 2, 3.
When you can't depend on your own underwear.
Darn it! I'm not going to be able to do this. Really?
Jed, if you're still watching, congrats on doing some potty training today. You did great, son.
Hey, good job, Jed.
Yeah, he did. Made some accomplishments. Hit some targets.
Man, oh man. Yeah, this is.
Ruel, I have to tell you.
Yeah.
There have been multiple times in the past couple weeks where where Katie, my wife, told, Jet's mother told him, is what I was trying to say, that I was out playing board games. And he goes, with Ruel? Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I love that. Oh. Oh, Jet.
And yeah, he I know
wonderful.
to identify you up on the screen. He watches the show. He's a
Ah.
fan.
Hi, Jet. Thanks for watching the show. We appreciate your support.
Yeah. With Ruel?
Yeah. Oh,
All right.
that's
So
wonderful.
who?
Your draw.
Oh my gosh. Ruel.
Yeah,
What's
I'm dead.
gonna happen?
I'm not going to get either of these. I'm going to tell you right now.
Are you dead?
I'm not
I think I'm
getting
gonna.
either.
I'll get one of them for you.
Boo
real
earns.
quick. So I got, so it's 4 groups of 4, right?
Yep, you got
I have
it.
1 in teal, 1 in pink, 1 in, oh wait, I don't have it yet.
But you will get it.
I will probably
Was it
get
one
it.
more cat? Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
I will try.
Yeah, I only have the books, plants, and board games. Okay, let's get a plant out. We'll do plant. Is there a plant? And no, there is not. There's a cat.
He's plant poor, folks.
Plant poor.
Plant poor.
Let's go with this plant here. Yeah.
Ooh, it smells of desperation.
Oh, so yeah.
Let's see here. I think.
Now, don't forget, we will get points for the ones that are similar to each other, right? The orthogonally
Yeah,
adjacent.
oh, you're
thing.
gonna crush on those, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I'm
Really
missing out on
excited for
those,
you.
which is huge. Yep.
Actually, I'm sorry. Can I very quickly? I'm gonna not do that. I'm gonna do
Okay.
this one.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go with that plant right there that's now open and available. Put the plant right here. So I have 1, 2, 3 groups of 4, but I will not get the 4th.
Doink.
Okay.
Shunk.
Oh, so you went first in the game.
I still have 1 spot left.
So I can finish the game right here. Or I will finish the game because, yeah, that'll be the game. And I do get the 1 point for finishing first.
Consolation prize.
And Jake said he couldn't bring the Bonds energy.
Yeah, there's the Bonds energy
he's-
that we all
he's
know and love.
Blasting his board.
Did you complete this one, the 4?
I did.
Okay.
I crushed it.
So 8 points for you.
Thank you so much.
Neither of us did this
No,
one.
I
Yeah.
didn't even really put effort into it.
Same.
No.
Okay.
They all have to be different, 2 rows?
Yeah,
Who
two-
has time for that nonsense?
Seriously.
No.
Okay, then we reveal this. I totally hosed myself. I thought this was a frame, but it was a book. But I got. I don't know if we could. Okay, so I have my. Where are we gonna put this?
So this
thank
is
you.
Ruel's right here.
Yeah.
And we're
So I have my board game there. I have my book there. A trophy.
I guess we were looking. So flip it around, actually. So they see the reverse of this, right? So now.
Okay.
Aha.
I have my cat here. Meow. I have a plant, a trophy.
Yeah.
A board game, a book, but I do not have a
Meeple.
portrait here.
Or portrait.
Yeah, because I mistakenly put a book there, so I will get 9 points.
9.
Including this one, I have 10 points.
10.
And then I do the little area thing here, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books, 6 plants, and 5 board games. So 8 plus 8 is 16, plus 5 is 21.
21.
So 21 plus 11 or 10 is 31.
Wow.
Right? Is that right?
Yeah, great. That was flawless.
Thank you.
Great scoring.
All right.
And you did it so smooth, so
Thank
fluid.
you.
The math was easy.
I might have played games before.
Yeah, no, but you explained it
Now-
well. I mean,
now-
sometimes it's hard to summarize those things. Like, you
Thanks.
nailed it.
Is anybody seeing that scoring? Is a good question.
Oh, why?
Why? What do you mean?
Because the computer.
Oh,
is doing
streaming
an
issues.
explosion.
Stand by.
Wait, what? You can't see. Is what?
Nightcat mentioned that
This
the-
may be all for the VOD, folks. Tune into the VOD to see who wins. Hi, Shelfie.
Oh no.
Nightcat
let's
not a
see.
bot. Okay, well,
Oh
It
yeah, I see a
says
little.
it's trying, but I don't know.
okay. Well, for the VOD, for you all VOD folks, let's go to Jake's scoring.
Great. So I got the 8 points there for launching this
Nice.
benefit. For mine, my goals here, I got the book in the right spot.
Yep.
Sorry. Yeah, I got the book. I got the cat in the right spot. I got the portrait in the right spot. I got the plant in the right spot. I got the game correctly. And I also got the trophy for all 6 for 12 points.
So 20 so far.
So 20 so far. And then for groupings, I did a 6-point plant, a 6-point trophy, a 6-point portrait, and a 5-point cat.
Wow.
So 8 times 3 is 24
24.
plus another. Wait. Yeah, plus a 5-point cat.
29.
Is 29, and then 29 plus 20 is
49. Wow, you crushed it, my friend. Well, GG. Well done. The jaked up matchup goes down with a Jake Michaels win.
It
well
felt
done.
good. When we played this, you did a couple of really good maneuvers that took both of the high point titles away from me that we were racing for, and you ended a turn before me, and you kept drafting in front of me perfectly. It was just wonderfully frustrating to play against.
You have requited yourself quite well. You have earned your revenge, Jake.
Thank you.
And my Shelfie folks from Lucky Duck Games, I want to thank them for sending over a copy. I love this game.
It's so good. I need to show this to. This is a good show to your parents game because it's so straightforward and visually both appealing and informative.
Yeah. And I love that it is, so many people are familiar with Connect 4. It's like, hey, let's play. It's just like Connect 4, you just drop them, but it's way much better than much more.
So
than
much
that.
better.
Yeah. All right. So that's going to do it for the show today, folks. Again, thank you so much for joining us today. Be sure to join our Discord, sign up for our newsletter. The newsletter is great. You get stuff there that we don't talk about here on the stream, including my game of the week, Maddie's movie corner, and more. We got a bunch of news nuggets as well, and a lot of fun there. We got to shout out Lindsay for putting that together every week. Buy our merch. You can go to the shop at goodtimesociety.com, including getting your very own Good Morning Society mug, which I always love to drink out of.
It tastes better in it.
It does. Just a reminder, friends, we will be off the air until next year. January 8th, 2025. Yeah, so we got a 2-week break. We're going to hang out and we'll probably play games.
I am
during the break.
100% playing some games.
Yeah, but we wish you and yours a very happy holiday season. Thank you as always for your support. Jake, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Happy holidays. Thank you, everyone, for such a great year. Thank you, Ruel, for 39 great episodes.
Yes.
What a great start to an awesome show.
Shout out to Ray for making this happen as well. Thank you, Ray. And
thank you to Becca and Bonds for also hosting this show so often.
Yes.
And thank you for being here so consistently. And let's get double the amount of people here next year.
Yeah, we'll see you next year, folks. And until then, play some games, will ya?